Alrighty, today we're on chapter 4.1, estimate products of fractions, or estimating fractions when we're multiplying them. Okay, the question for the whole chapter is, what does it really mean to multiply and divide fractions? So that you'll see that question in every section. Our objectives here are you are going to be able to estimate products with fractions using compatible numbers, which we saw in last chapter, and rounding to 0, 1/2, or 1. Quick review, when you see this sign right here, that's our equal sign. When you see the wavy equal sign, that is our estimation sign or our about sign. Okay? Alrighty, so remember, we're using estimation here. We're not looking for exact numbers, and I want you to kind of think back to the term compatible numbers. Okay, when you're multiplying or dividing numbers or fractions, and you're using numbers that you can easily multiply or divide in your head. So if we had 1/4 times 13, and we actually did it without estimating, it would look like this. 1/4 times 13 over 1. Remember, when we multiply fractions, we multiply straight across, so 1 times 13 is 13. And then 4 times 1 is going to be 4. Then you have an improper fraction, and then you have to make it a mixed number, okay? And which is totally fine. You can totally do that, I'm sure. But it's a little bit easier when we're estimating to use more compatible numbers. So 1/4 times, what number could 1/4 or 4 go into that's near 13? Think about that for a second. I'm sure you're thinking 12. 4 goes into 12. So we're going to keep our 1/4. We're going to multiply it by 12 instead. 12 over 1, because 12 is a whole number, and all whole numbers are written over 1 for a fraction. So 1 times 12 is 12. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay? Now we have a division problem here. Okay, we have 12 over a number. So 12 divided by 4. 12 divided by 4 is going to give us 3. Okay? Whenever you see a number over another number that is a fraction bar, also can be a division sign. Okay? Same thing here. We have 2/5 of 11. So when you see the word of, that means that you're going to multiply. I'm just going to write the multiplication sign. Okay? So of equals multiplication. So again, we have 2/5 of 11. So we want to look at our denominator here, which is our bottom number. And what number can 5 go into that's close to 11? 10. You guys are so smart. So we're going to do 2/5 of or times 10. Okay, over 1. So again, we're going to multiply our top numbers or our numerators. So 2 times 10 is going to be 20. 5 times 1 is going to be 5. Okay, we're going to simplify our answer. This is an improper fraction, so we're going to simplify it. 20 divided by 5 is going to give us 4. Okay, again, I know we're still kind of getting warmed up to fractions again, so this is still an intro, so just stick with me here. Okay, same thing here, 3/4 of 23. So 3/4, again, we're estimating here, our wavy symbol. So 3/4 of or times, what number does 4 go into that's close to 23? We could go 20 or we could go 24. It's a little bit closer to 24, so we're going to go with 24 over 1. Use our approximation sign or our estimation sign. So 3 times 24 is going to be, 72. So 3 times 24 is going to be 72. 4 times 1 is going to be 4. We have a lot of 4s here. Sorry for all the repeats of 4s, okay? So we're going to do 72 divided by 4. So I'm going to do it right up here with you. 72 divided by 4. I'm going to erase some of this so you guys can kind of see a little bit. So 4 goes into 7 one whole time. We subtract 4. 7 minus 4 is going to be 3. Drop that down here. Going to be 2. So how many times does 4 go into 32? 8 times. So we're going to subtract 32. Give me 0. So 72 divided by 4 is going to be 4. Nope, no, my gosh, it's going to be 8. My bad. It's going to be 18. Okay. So 3/4 of 23 is going to be approximately 18. Now we're going to estimate by rounding to a 0, 1/2, or 1. Because remember, fractions are only parts of a number. They are not whole numbers. So, if you have 1 out of 3, so this is what we're going to round before we multiply. Actually, wait, I'm going to change and make it a much better example. So hold on one sec. Oopsie, just skip. Let's do 3/4 times 5 out of 9. Okay? So 3/4. If you have 3/4 of something, you're much closer to 1 than you are to 1/2 or to 0 of it. Okay? So 3/4 is going to round to 1. Okay? 5/9 is going to be 5 is half of 10, right? Well, 5 out of 9 is basically half of it. So 5 out of 9 is going to be 1/2. Okay? So now we have 1 times 1/2, which is going to give us 1/2. Okay? I know this is a little funky if you've never seen it. So just take this example down, and it'll make more sense after we practice it just a little bit more. Okay? All right, so we have this one too. We have 5 out of 8 and then 9/10. Okay? So if you have 5 out of 8, that is close to 1/2. 5 is about almost a little more than half of 8. Again, we're just estimating. It's not perfect here. But that is to, actually, let's do this. Goodness gracious. So 5 out of 8 is going to be about 1/2 times 9 out of 10, which is going to be about 1. So this, again, equals 1/2. Sorry, it's so boring. Okay, I want you to do 5/6 times 4 out of 10. Again, we're estimating closer to 0, 1/2, or 1. So 5/6 is going to be closer to 1 whole times 4 out of 10. So 4 is about half of 10. So 4 out of 10 is going to be about half. Perfect. I'm sorry these are all turning out to be 1/2. That's not how it was supposed to be, but my examples are a little bit repetitive. So whoopsie poopsie on that one. Okay, all right. So the next one is estimating using a bar diagram. So I'll be showing you a lot of options as to how to estimate, and then like on homework or on a quiz or test, you can choose which one works best for you. Okay, so we have 1/4 times 21. Okay, so we rounded this one to 20 because 4 goes into 20, does not go into 21. So when we do that, we're going to separate it into like this right here. So we're going to break it up into 4 pieces. So 20 divided by 4, because it was going to look like this. 1/4 times 20 over 1, which equals 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. So it takes 4 5s, or 4 times 5, to equal 20. So then you separate it into these 4 blocks and fill those in with 5s. Okay? So same thing like this. Ooh, let's try this one. So we have 6 2/3 times 4 1/5. Then we have 1/5 times 19. So if we have 6 2/3, so 2 out of 3 is closer to 3 than it is to 1/2 or to 0. So that is going to be about 7. So we have 7 times 4 1/5. That's going to be closer just to 4 than it is to anything else. So 7 times 4 is going to be 28. So 6 2/3 times 4 1/5 is going to be about or around 28. Okay? 1/5 times 19, let's do that one over here with the bar diagram. So if we have 1/5 times 19, and we're going to use that bar diagram, 1/5 is going to be closer, it's going to be easier to go into 20 than it is to 19 because 5 goes into 20. So we're going to break this up again. Actually, you know what? Let's do this one. Let's change this up. Let's do 1/5 of, let's do 43. Okay, again, we're estimating here. So does 5 go into 43, or does it go into 40, 45? Ooh, I think it goes into 45, that's for sure. So let's do 1/5 times 45, and we're going to use a bar diagram. So remember, since our denominator is 5, like that, so it's going to be 45 over 5, okay? So that means I'm going to draw 5 sections here. Let's do it right over here. I'm terrible at drawing this, guys. Not very good at it. Let's try that again. Oh, perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you see how I have 5 slots here? Okay, and we're dividing it. So we have 45 here. So 45, and we're divided by 5, so it's going to be 9 in each slot, because 45 divided by 5 is going to be 9. Okay, those are 9s, by the way. I know, terrible handwriting. Okay, again, this is just an intro video. You're not going to probably understand a lot of this right now. Some of you might, which is great. So take your time. Just get all your notes down, and then you have some review sheets to do after this, but it won't be on this topic. So we'll go over this more in class when I see you next time. Okay? All right, good luck, guys. Make sure to get all this information down. Okay, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.